Alright, welcome to the secret history inside of your aquarium. I wanted to show you this Ancistrus. It's a pleco, also known as a calico Ancistrus type of pleco. This is kind of your generic pleco. This one is only about 6 months old, and it's a brown one with just some yellow spots. It's not really important what kind they are in that capacity of what they look like. But I just wanted to show you that basically they move around pretty haphazardly. I don't know what drives them to go where they go, but one pleco in a number of hours, so this has been 24 hours now, has cleaned up. You can see the algae that's here on the front glass. It's cleaned. You can also see over here how much algae was on the back of those rocks back there, and all these rocks had that much algae on them. And the pleco has completely scoured many of the rocks, luckily facing the front of the tank, and that's in 24 hours. So as fast as this tank is putting out the cyanobacteria and the algae, the pleco seems, if it can keep up this rate, I think it'll keep up eating that no problem, which is music to my ears. But yeah, so I just wanted to show you guys that. Also, now we've got an opportunity to maybe see how the pleco functions slightly. And when you look in their mouth, they have two teeth. So they've got kind of these buck-tooth teeth at the top that are actually hard, bony plates. They're adapted evolutionarily from their scales. And then they have another one, come on, focus, right there in the center. And so as they work like a little Pac-Man, dub, 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 you can watch those major lips on them. You can watch as that kind of scrapes away, and they bring that lower jaw in and sandwich it into that upper jaw and cause a little suction cup, not just on their mouth, but with those teeth that are specifically, they're able with musculature. You see the angle they've got there? So it can change the angle of its teeth or its bony plates and its thus its jaw, which allows it to have a complete suction on the surface and really get in there in tight spaces. Also, it can be a little more delicate, but sometimes you'll see your plants get torn up, but they can be delicate in that they don't need to use those teeth. If it's loose enough, they can use the suction of their mouth, and that's where you see the rubber mouth or rubber lip pleco, which is just a common Ancistrus usually. That is an Ancistrus of calico color, brown, whatever you want to, just chocolate, whatever you want to call it. But basically all of these guppies have done nothing much to help the algae problem, and in one night that pleco has cleaned every rock look like this, and it has cleaned all of that in this new tank. So now I must say it's relatively soft algae and cyanobacteria, diatom algae as well, but it is very amazing that one pleco can work through it that quickly. So definitely a good little fella to have, especially if they're hungry. If you would be feeding this pellets right now, it may choose not to eat those. So it's best to let them just naturally grange as long as there's natural food. And then once things are in a clean state, that's when you really need to supplement their diet for them. But before that, I was taking a toothbrush every day or two and scrubbing between the cracks and crevices, and those days are gone now, thankfully. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, but it looks like he's, or she actually, is doing a fine job. Just a moment ago, she was working on a piece of stone back there, and you can see how clear it is just in the time we're hanging out in this film. So, kind of fun to watch. I like watching them from the glass side, and when you work with this ADA substrate, these leach quite a bit of ammonia and nitrogen nitrates and allow that hair algae, if you can see it on the glass, to build up, as well as the diatom and the cyanobacterias, which are, so a lot of times people call those algae, but they're the slimy algae is a combination of biofilm and phytoplankton, and is an algae. Sometimes it's a biofilm, which they call an aufuk, and an aufuk is a colony of different species of animals, and everyone is different, but basically the bacteria produce a secretion. Here we go, we can see the Ancistrus really working. Oh, it left. Is a secretion, and it causes this gel state or canopy to be placed over the entire surface area of this colony, and they allow species in of all sorts of phytoplankton, protists, and even some copepods. And then from there, they don't just use the normal photosynthesis to derive their nutrients, but they actually can use photosynthesis. They can have sulfur digesting, iron digesting, all sorts of different extremophiles and things like that, bacteria that allow them to fix sometimes harmful substances, even things like lead, and allows that to be then managed by the remainder of the colony, and each part of it has a role to play. So as much as that's going on and will help deal with the ammonia and the nitrates and things like that, I'm happy to see this pleco, this Ancistrus, doing its thing. So just wanted to show you that as I show you the aquascape and how it's coming along. Color looks a little off right now to reality of what I'm seeing, as in these are reds. You can see how kind of pinkish orange the light looks reflecting off the water. To me, that is like a dark red, dull light. So just wanted to kind of clear up what it actually looks like, and the algae is pretty spot on. The greens are a good representation, but the reds are a little off on this new camera. So I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you learned something or were entertained by just seeing the little Ancistrus at work, and learn a little bit about the ecology of algae on rocks, diatoms, and aufuk colonies. And I will talk to you later. If you liked it, subscribe, like, share with friends. You want to share some slimy algae with friends? Give it to them. All right, guys, take it easy. Swim on. Take care.